Most people think tracking requires cameras, satellite, or someone actively watching. But a lot of modern tracking doesn't work that way. In many cases, nothing is watching you. Your devices, even simple tools, are simply making themselves visible. Not because of spyware, not because of hacking, but because of how modern technology and energy use in general works by design. Today, I want to explain how everyday devices can be seen from afar, what that actually means, and why learning to reduce that visibility now may matter more than people realize later. This video is not about panic, not about paranoia, not about living in fear. It's about understanding signals, emissions, and signatures, many of which people broadcast without realizing it. Awareness isn't fear, it's preparation. Anything that uses energy leaves evidence, whether it's meant to or not. Sometimes that evidence is intentional, like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or cellular signals. Sometimes it's unintentional. Electrical noise, heat, light spill, sound, timing patterns, or power draw. The important thing to understand is this. You don't need to break into something to detect it. You only need to observe what it leaks. Tracking doesn't always mean identification. Very often, simply means presence. When people think about tracking, they usually think about radio signals. Phones, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. That's only the most obvious layer. It's also only one layer. Most forms of detection don't rely on a single signal. They rely on combinations, things stacking on top of each other. And once you understand that, it becomes clear why visibility isn't just a technology problem. It's a habits problem. Radio frequency is the most obvious layer because it's designed to communicate. Phones are constantly searching for towers, Wi-Fi devices announce themselves to nearby networks, Bluetooth beacons identify hardware to anything listening. These signals are intentional. They're how modern devices work. And because they're intentional, they're also the easiest signals to detect. Most people already understand this part. Where things change is when you realize radio frequency is only one layer in a much larger visible picture. Light is one of the most underestimated signals that people give off, especially at night. A flashlight isn't just illumination. It's a long-distance beacon. Modern LED lights are extremely bright, very directional, and spectrally distinct. In darkness, even a small light source can stand out from much further away than most people realize. Light doesn't always identify who you are, but it clearly announces that something is there. Anything powered produces heat, and heat doesn't care whether you're trying to stay hidden. Electronics, vehicles, buildings, even people all create thermal contrast. Heat doesn't announce who you are, but it very clearly announces that something is there. Unlike light or sound, heat can persist even when everything else goes quiet. Sound doesn't have to be loud to stand out. It only has to be different from its surroundings. Bands, generators, engines, and inverters all create acoustic patterns. Even devices people consider quiet are rarely silent. They're just consistent. Consistency is often easier to detect than noise. Even when nothing appears to be transmitting, power usage itself can create a signature. When devices turn on, when they turn off, how much power they draw, how predictably they behave. Power patterns don't care about intent. They form whatever you want them or not. And in many cases, those patterns are easier to recognize. The signals people usually focus on. Patterns are often more revealing than signals. Consistency is easier to track than noise. Same devices, same timing, same locations, same routines. You don't have to be loud to be visible, you only have to be predictable. And once patterns form, they tend to reveal more over time, not less. Before going any further, it's important to be clear about what this conversation is not. This isn't science fiction, it's not mind reading, and it's not satellites watching individuals. Most detection systems don't care who you are, they care that something is there. That distinction matters because it changes how you respond. Reducing visibility doesn't start with equipment, it starts with habits. Silence what doesn't need to speak. Disable features you aren't using. Power devices off when connectivity isn't required. Distance still matters. A device in your pocket is very different from a device in another room. Containment can help, but no pouch fixes careless behavior. And most importantly, break predictability. Change timing, change routines, change patterns. Right now, the goal isn't to disappear. Right now, the goal is to learn how not to broadcast unnecessarily. Habits built under calm conditions are the habits you fall back on under pressure. This isn't about fear, it's about literacy. Understanding how visibility works gives you options, and options matter. But there may come a time when reducing visibility isn't enough. A time when broadcasting at all becomes a liability. That doesn't mean living that way now. It means understanding that complete silence is a skill, not a switch. You don't learn how to go dark the moment you need to. It's kind of like trying to learn how to fly a plane on the way down. You learn it before. Technology isn't evil. Signals aren't sinister. But ignorance removes options. Understanding how visibility works gives you control over when you're seen and when you're not. Stay observant. Stay ready. Silence isn't fear. It's discipline.